And he's just so grateful and thankful that we chose to come here because of our choice to come here, our light being here, our light will help him save this planet and move it in a different and a new direction. Good morning, everyone. I thought I'd come on live today and just talk about an experience that I had with Jesus one night. And it came to the surface when I was watching a TikTok video the other week. And I noticed somebody else had a very similar experience to mine. So I thought, I should really talk about this. Every time that I've asked Jesus if I should talk about this, he doesn't really think it's important for me to share it. And then I started talking with him about why and so on and so forth. And he agreed that I could share this story with you as long as he gets to weigh in and kind of steer it, so it's not misinterpreted or misunderstood. It was like any other ordinary night. I go to bed. Nothing out of the ordinary. I go to sleep and I'm by myself. I'm in an apartment by myself. And I had just started channeling professionally for people. And so I was going to bed. And next thing you know, I am out of my body. And this is not a dream. This is really happening. There's no differentiating of a dream versus reality here. This is happening to me. And I can see all the stars in the sky. And I can see Jesus. And I'm going down this portal backwards. And I can see Jesus at the top of the portal. And he's leaning over and smiling at me. And I'm thinking, okay, well, Jesus is here, should be okay. I'm thinking, all right, thank goodness Jesus is here. And he's smiling at me as he's guiding me. He doesn't want me to say dropping me down a portal, but the truth is he was guiding me down, okay? He guided me to the portal, then I was going down the portal, like backward. So I'm falling down this portal and I'm looking at my hands and they're like this iridescent bluish white color, okay? And I can see through them, but I can feel the wind. I can feel the wind going around me and through me. And as I'm falling, and the top of the portal where Jesus is, where I can see the stars and Jesus smiling at me, is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller as I'm falling. And I'm falling backward into this dark portal. Okay. It's dark. Like there's nothing around. And as I'm falling, I can feel that my soul is starting to dim. So my light isn't as bright. And I can still see my arms and my hands. And then I start to notice that my soul starts to feel like it's going to get snuffed out. Like I will cease to exist. And it was a very uncomfortable feeling. This is no dream I'm having. This is me going, uh-oh, I'm about to get snuffed out here. I'm about to cease to exist. In that moment, I have this thought, I don't want to be here anymore. And I fly up out of the portal past Jesus. And for some reason, my soul knew how to get right back to my body. And I flew right into the back of my body, walloped right into my body. Wham! Woke up. Whoa! Like shot awake. Turned my light on, and I stayed up for about 4 hours, and I think I slept the rest of the night with the light on. That's how important the light is. So when you are falling down and you get a little lost and you're about to get snuffed out, always remember that we're never alone. You can decide to leave anytime you want or call for backup. So I remember saying immediately, I said, why did you do that? Why did you drop me down that portal? That's what it felt like. And he said to me, you have to understand the full impact of the importance of the work that you're doing. Okay, guiding people to the light, channeling the light for people, channeling their angels, channeling their spirit guides, channeling God, channeling Jesus. Okay, and so the importance of that had to be known by where these people might get stuck temporarily down this portal. Okay, they might get a little lost. And I don't feel like it's lost forever, but I'll channel him now and I'll just see what he wants to say about it. And then I'm going to talk about what I'd seen on TikTok a couple of weeks ago, which is a very similar experience to what I had. And I said, I need to talk about this because if anybody has this experience, they have to understand that if you're having this experience, your guardian angels know about it. Your spirit guides, Jesus, God, everyone knows. Everyone knows everything. So there has to be a purpose and a reason or a teaching moment, which is what Jesus did there. He had a teachable moment with me. And let me tell you, it taught me a lot. It really did teach me, okay, this is really, I guess, maybe more important than I thought it was. I had been a year or two in of giving readings, and he wanted to show me how important it is, the work that I was doing. So I'm just going to channel him and see what he would like to say. He's choosing his words wisely here. I can tell he's not speaking up or saying right away. He's saying that he gave it great thought in length as to what to do with me in regards to teaching me the importance of this path of spirituality, connecting with the divine. You don't necessarily have to be religious in nature or connect divinely through religion to Jesus and God and everyone. But you can connect in anytime you wish, at home, in the bath, out for a walk, when you're in nature. And it's really important that you do connect in with the light, because there are many parts of this planet that are heavier in frequency, and even our own thoughts, our own frequency can become quite heavy in nature. The goal in guiding Kristin down this portal in order to have this experience is for her to understand the importance of guiding others to the light, as she is the way shower. They've always called me the way shower. And they've always shown me this giant staff that looked like as if Gandalf was going to hold it. And it has this bright light on top, really bright white, crisp white. And I'm in the dark and I'm saying, come on, you guys, this way. And I've got the staff with the light and I'm pointing in the direction as to where to go. It'd be like the equivalent of going into a dark room and then trying to find where the light switch is on the wall and flip it on. So he says, with this being said, it's important to understand that each of you in your own ways are way showers as well. And you can show others into the light at any moment. There's no need or it's unnecessary for individuals to sink deep into the depths. I just showed Kristin a different depth. So there are different layers of depths. The one he showed me is like going to the, bottom? I almost hit the bottom. If there was a bottom, the bottom would have been me snuffed out. He never would have allowed that to happen. He just wanted me to get a taste of it, to understand what it meant to free fall down this portal and understand that many souls will get lost here. And it's important to be the way shower, to show them the way to the light. And some think that they are being guided toward the light, but it is a misinformed light. So any time you're being steered or guided into a direction that you think is light-filled, but it is teaching to harm others or hurt others, or misinform or lie to others, This is the wrong path to be on. Okay, now I'm allowed to talk about what I saw on TikTok. This gentleman, he was sleeping with his wife and he was very dedicated to his religion. And he was just relentless with it. He even showed his books of all his writings in his books and of the teachings. And he had a heart attack in the middle of his sleep. So with that heart attack, he's out of his body and he starts to free fall down this portal. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what happened to me. Except I literally spent maybe about 2 minutes down that portal. I don't know how long he spent, but it seemed like a little bit longer than 2 minutes. So he starts to free fall down this portal and he's dropping down too, like I was. And all of a sudden he starts to say his prayer out loud, but nothing's happening. He's calling for help with whom he thinks is the best individual to come and save him, but no one comes. And then he can see this white light start circling him in the portal, and he starts to understand that this is his guardian angel, and his guardian angel is absolutely frantic trying to save him. Round and round, round and round. He's fallen, he's still fallen. And his guardian angel says, you need to call Jesus into your heart and to come and save you. And he's like yelling it at him. Like his guardian angel is just frantically trying to get him. He's kind of resistant because that's not really in a part of what he's been taught with his religion, right? So his guardian angel is going around him and around him. And then he looks down. He's about to go into what looks like a fiery place. Let's put it that way. So it's a whole other portal connected down even deeper. So he finally says it, and he said it was like being struck by lightning. And then all of a sudden he just saw this immense amount of light and he got pulled right out of this portal immediately. And he said he met Jesus and he conversed with him, and then he was placed back into his body. And when he came back into his body, he flew out of the bed on the floor. And his wife said, oh my God, are you okay? Like, what's going on? He goes, I just had a heart attack. And then this is what he proceeded to talk about of what happened to him. In times of need, I think it's really important that we know who to call upon. It's imperatively important here and on the other side. So if you ever need help or backup, you know who to call. And his views on his religion of choice of what he'd been taught since birth changed since that day. So I don't know what happened after that. But what would you like to say about all of this? He says that we're never going to be lost or forsaken forever. There will be a time when we will reach out for him. We will reach out to God. We will reach out to help. The truth is that this region in which we are inhabiting has great heavy forces, low vibrational forces here that are misinforming, purposely misteaching, misguiding. And the connection with the light is truly all that is important. It is the most of importance. He says, and the next thing of importance is self-love, loving yourself, treating yourself with kindness and goodness. So the purpose of some of what others have been taught, just like I had a teachable moment, this gentleman also had a teachable moment of redirecting in life and moving in a new direction where he was more connected with the real light rather than more of a false light. Gives me a thumbs up on that one. As the planet's getting cleaned up, there's going to be a lot of exposure. So we're going to see a lot of stuff coming to the surface, right? Some of us might be having these experiences. We might be having this happen to us. We might be, noticing these things. People always say, well, why was I haunted? Or why was I pestered by ET energy? It's all purposeful. It's a teachable moment. It's teaching you to get out of yourself. Look around. Ask questions. Start to become curious, which is the beginning of awakening on earth, which is what Spirit wants us to do, rather than having our heads in the sand like an ostrich and just bopping along like this 3D reality is the only thing that exists when it does not. And if anything, far from it. So you're wondering if this portal or tunnel is how people cross over. Is this how people cross over? Okay, so he talks about, he's calling it the Great Divide. So you either can go up into the light and back home, or you can get temporarily lost down below in this portal. And why do people get lost there? Their belief systems, their thoughts. I remember, when I was had a house cleaning company way long ago, this elderly lady, she was in this house. She'd lived there her whole life. It was the oldest house on the street. And she was hiding in the closet because she was taught that, this or that. And she was terrified to go to that. So she was hiding. And so they asked me to help cross her over. And that's what I did. But ultimately, she was so terrified, she'd rather just stay on earth and hide out rather than going somewhere for all of eternity, right? But there's certain belief systems that we've been taught. And we have to understand that we are the manifestors of our realities. We are manifestors. That's what we do. So even in spirit, when you're in spiritual form, whatever you think, whatever you give thought to, you can go to that location. And if anything, you're omnipresent. You can do multiple things at once. I've seen some souls tell me they're doing hundreds of different things at once. And so whatever you place your attention upon, you can, and I'd never really thought about no portals or going anywhere like this. So I was a bit surprised when I got escorted down there. But look at Earth now. This is a temporary experience in which we're having, like a school. And we're manifesting all the time. So if you have a belief system that, your religion taught you that you had to have a lot of children or else you wouldn't cross over into heaven, or there's a belief system in your religion that you weren't good enough, you didn't pray enough, okay? Or maybe you just thought, I wasn't a good enough person in general. Maybe you're not religious at all, but I'm not a good enough person to enter heaven. Okay, we all get to enter heaven. It's just a matter of getting temporarily lost. Or maybe you forgot, you felt like you needed to ask forgiveness, but you didn't before you crossed over. Then you have this mindset of that. How about having a mindset of being accepted and included and lovingly guided with our loved ones into heaven, no matter what? But I think we're, in a lot of ways, brainwashed with a lot of systems and societal norms and religions. So what would you like to say about that? He agrees. It's all about energy and frequency and the thoughts in which you house in your mind. And your thoughts are a radio signal that you send out. It is also the law of attraction. So if you keep having enough of these thoughts and these belief systems, then you will attract in that which you are manifesting. It's just that most of us here on earth don't understand this. And we don't understand that we are manifesting all the time. So there's a saying, like I'll say, so if somebody needs to get going, I'll say, so let's get cracking. Let's get moving. So let's get moving in this direction and understand that it's imperative to connect with the light, especially when we're on a planet like this. More important now than ever. The light is the most important thing to connect with. And secondly, is the light within yourself and self-love. That is the most important. I mean, if you even think about it, that was a grander scale what he showed me. But there are times even on earth where I get lost temporarily. We get lost temporarily. We get lost down some rabbit hole with family members, or we get lost in our own thoughts or belief systems about ourselves. And so these are little, I guess you could say, rabbit holes or portals that we go down where we get lost for a little while. And so he just showed me the bigger, grander scale of potentially the importance of seeing where people might get lost when they leave their bodies. What's most important at all times, whether we're in our body on earth or we're in the afterworld and we're experiencing anything that we don't like, is we don't have to be there. We don't have to accept it. And we can call for backup and help immediately. And that's the most important thing for you to remember, no matter what. So where does this portal go? To a place that he'd rather not speak of. We are told of this place in the Bible, but this place is really quite unnecessary. This place, it essentially was created by storytelling from those who wanted to dominate and control the populace many years ago. You see, if you speak something into an existence enough and you focus on it, and then you have huge masses of people focus on it too, in a story, then it gets created. If we didn't talk about it, didn't focus on it, didn't fixate it, didn't give it any energy, we didn't create the story in the first place, this place would cease to exist because we are the manifestors of our reality. Was Jesus helping me last night when I was in that pain? And the answer is yes. It's just huge amounts of the word yes coming at me. Did I see him, or was that a dream or someone else? So I don't know what your dream was, but what he's showing me is him there a little bit off to the side or at a distance, watching, monitoring, just keeping an eye on you. So to me, it's almost like I see the outline of someone and he's just watching, keeping an eye on you. You know, he's done that with me before when I'm doing readings. He's just kind of off to the side and he's just monitoring and watching. And then sometimes I say to the person that I'm giving the reading to, I say, do you talk with Jesus a lot? Or have you been praying to him recently? And they're, oh yeah. I said, he's here with you. So when you do call on him for whatever things that you need, you bring him in to stay with you permanently. And he can be with every single one of us. And I know the people that are talking to him. I know them because I can tell he's with them. So you'll have the ones where he's right with you. And then you'll have the people that come to me where maybe they talk to him once in a while, but not that often, or they grew up in a certain religion, but now they've kind of moved in a different direction. But he's still there. He's just a little bit further away, but he's still there. And then you'll have the ones where he's not around them, and then he'll come in to have a word with them and ask if he can help them. The other night I had a little bit of knee pain and I asked him to work on my knee. And what they do is, well, what he does is he just gently funnels his light into your knee. And then I can feel him kind of looking around inside the body and then funneling a lot of light and even pulsating through all up inside the muscle and the joints, everything. I'll even know the ones that had a religion, but they believe that if they leave the religion, that they're lost to Jesus forever. That they're not allowed to be a part of Jesus anymore. And that is so far from the truth. And he'll come in during a session, and I don't know anything about this person. And the person will say, well, I watched your video and you're spiritual, but you didn't really want to talk to Jesus. And I saw how you talked to Jesus, and then you decided to work with Jesus, but you didn't have a connection through religion, and now you're talking with Jesus. And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, I feel like I've fallen from grace because I've left this religion and I don't feel like I can talk to him anymore. And I said, well, he's right here. He's never left. So he lets them know, I am here and I have never left. No matter what religion you're in or out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, doesn't matter. The world is on track to become a bit topsy-turvy. Hold steady as we anchor each of you to the light and each of your countries to the light. The feeling is, it's like we're going to get anchored to the light, okay? and your country is going to get anchored to the light. And then what's going to happen, he says, is that we're going to get pulled closer into the light, to be held closer to the light as we're going through this. And then more light will be funneling through us and the country of origin in which we live in. And so the light's going to grab us and hold on to us while we're going through this time. And the darkness cannot have us. And that's important for you to understand and for you to know. And if you want to be held and embraced by the light further, please ask. If you're going through the depths or things are going to get tougher, this is when you call on the light, you call on Jesus, you call on God, you call on your angels, and you tell them, I need backup. I need extra support. I need extra care. I need you to embrace me and to grip onto me even more. And the beautiful thing of this too, he's saying, is that when this happens, a lot of the darkness slinks away. It cannot coexist in the same space as the light. And so what's happening here on earth is exposure of the heaviness for all to see. And what matters most is that the planet gets bombarded with enough light frequency to take over. And we've already gone over the tipping point. So essentially the light is winning this, and always knew that it would, and has stacked the cards in the light's favor by our souls coming here. So when we bombard the planet with our souls and our light, it's like a gateway or an opening for more light from God and Jesus and the angels to come here and grip the planet even more, because we chose to come here. So us coming here is so imperative, all over 9 billion of us. And he's just so grateful and thankful that we chose to come here because of our choice to come here, our light being here, our light will help him save this planet and move it in a different and a new direction. You see, how beautiful. Just let you know, I'm going to be doing another group healing with Jesus in December. If you'd like to go to my website, KristinDaviesMedium.com, you can check it out. It's going to be probably an hour and a half. It gets recorded and sent to you, and every time you watch it, you'll have a lot of that light frequency come through as well. And also, there's only a few spots left tomorrow for the Remembrance Day Special at 30% off if you feel like you need a reading, and a couple spots next week at 30% off. All right, you guys, love ya. See you next week. Can't wait. Bye.